Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I hope you all had a happy holiday season.
Yes.
If you're working at a tech company, and especially in digital journalism, I hope you had a really happy holiday season, because now that the holidays are over, the layoffs are coming.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about this because a lot of companies trying to do the right thing, trying to be decent, and of course it probably had something to do with their fiscal year, have decided to postpone planned layoffs until after the new year. But now it's after the new year and everybody's getting laid off.
Or going to be.
Or gonna be. In fact, if you go out to Google and you search for layoffs, so many articles, what to do when you're laid off. You know, tech industry layoffs unfolding at faster rate than any time during the COVID pandemic. How to talk to your kids about your layoff 6 hours ago. I mean, it's going to be pretty bad, guys. How layoffs can affect diversity in tech and what to do about it 9 hours ago.
Now look, I want to stress again that we are not like, oh, look at this, ha 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 ha.
No.
But that's not what we're doing. We've been there. It sucks. We get it.
Yes.
Especially like if you've had no notice whatsoever. But in this case, you probably have. But the flip side is the reason a lot of stuff's happening is because of bad choices and probably lack of venture capital over bad choices that we've seen, especially in mainstream journalism.
Yeah, journalism is by far the hardest hit. Washington Post said they're going to be laying a bunch of people off after the new year. I guarantee you BuzzFeed's not long for this world. Their stock is under $1 right now. There are going to be a lot of journalists out of work. We did a video earlier today talking about the Mary Sue. I personally, and this is just an opinion, I think the reason they're ramping up the outrage and the clickbait is because they are being pressured to bring as many views as possible. So the way the advertising works, as someone who runs multiple websites, we can tell you, fourth quarter is when you make most of your money, like half of your money for the year. Okay, well, that's over. So now we're going into January, February, March, which
that's when budgets are set.
Budgets are set, and the ad rates are terrible. They were not good in Q4. Okay.
I can't imagine how bad they're going to be in Q1.
They're going to be really bad. And the venture capital has run out. The ad rates are going to be plummeting. And we're going to see a lot of journalists get laid off. You're going to see a lot of salt on Twitter. And then they're salty about Twitter, too, because, you know, Elon Musk has it and he's got lots of money. But this is going to be, I believe, a huge paradigm shift. I think we're going to go back to geek sites being run by actual geeks because there's not a lot of money in doing it. Really, there isn't. There's enough to like pay your bills, and they were all bankrolled by venture capital.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that so many sites, especially more the geek sites, but so many, they got very political, very polarizing.
Yes.
And I think that it has a lot to do with it. People just stop listening to the news because, well, then you have things happening in the world. Like you're told one thing from the media and, you know, they're blocking certain things from social media and saying that, oh, no, that's not true. It's fake news. And then you find out after the fact that it was indeed true. So who do you believe? You can't obviously believe the media.
No.
So, you know, I think that's biting them in the ass.
Well, I think that's kind of what's going on with Twitter right now. I mean, regardless of what you think of Elon Musk personally, a lot of journalists have been using Twitter to doing citizen journalism. They've been just posting stories on Twitter directly. There's talk that he might buy Substack, and that's where a lot of these people want to go. But basically what's going to happen is a lot of news or content or opinions or whatever it's going to be paywalled. And so what is going to happen then is Darwinism. Only the people who have content that people are willing to pay for, that's marketable. Be it
ads or whatever, but they're going to still go to those sites. So they feel that they're going to get the truth from.
Yes, the free rides are over. A lot of people, I believe, had jobs that were created artificially. The demand wasn't actually there, but there was a surplus of money, whether that came from venture capital or an abundance of ad rates, or you were basically given your job because other people were bringing the views to the website, other stories bringing views to the websites, and then they were giving you a job out of pity or diversity and equity reasons or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, oh crap, only the people who perform are gonna get to stay. That's it. And I'm sorry.
If they stay in business.
If they stay in business. I mean, it could be even worse than that. But yeah, everybody's talking about this. Yahoo Finance from Fortune. There's only one time tech layoffs have ever happened faster than right now. And that probably would have been 2009, I'm guessing. They said Tech winter of 2022 is one of the most brutal sectors seen. Again, this affects digital media too, more so I think than social media. Last year, 153,000 tech workers lost their jobs.
They're talking about it was from the .com bubble in 2001.
Okay,
That's what I was wondering.
That makes
the
sense.
.com bubble.
That's more than 50% of all tech job losses since the start of the pandemic, and it's 10 times as many as 2021. It's a brutal tally that brings the early days of the pandemic to mind. Yeah, they were actually hiring a lot of people too after, but first started, they laid people off. They said there were 70,000 tech workers that lost their jobs, but then they started hiring again because they thought, oh, look at all this ad revenue because everybody's locked in their houses and everybody's watching our streaming services or they're on social media. So it's going to go up and up and up. And then it's like, oh shit, now people can leave their houses and they're not.
So 2 million people in this tech were laid off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, .com bubble. Amazon, Meta were the two biggest tech companies to swing the axe last year, and it's just getting started. So here's the thing. Going here, a lot of companies were trying to be decent and wait until after Christmas, after New Year's, to fire you. Some of them fired people right before, and I worked for a company one time, and I remember arguing with them. They were going to lay off this manager that came in. And he was there for 3 months, and he was really rubbing people the wrong way. And I personally didn't like him that much. But I'm like, you're going to lay him off like a week before Christmas. He's got 2 kids. That's really shitty. It's really shitty. And I lost that fight because I was just a grunt at the time. But they're like, he sucks. He's got to go. We don't want him thinking he's got a job next year. I'm like, he was talking to me about buying a house. So they're like, yeah, another reason why we need to let him go
Well,
now.
maybe they could have just talked to him first.
They tried talking to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a very strong personality. I don't think he was a bad guy, but he came in like guns blazing, like, I'm going to change everything. It's like, no, you just need to manage the shit that we have going. That's your job, not change everything. Anyway, after the holiday lull, big tech layoffs around the globe are going to start again. They said business executives want to prepare their funds for prosperity in 2023. It's a safe bet that tech firms that haven't yet let staff go are carefully weighing their options. I think it's everybody. I don't think anybody is safe at this point. I said many businesses conclude their fiscal years in December. January is the best month for organizational realignment and adjustment.
Also when the budgets are going in.
Yes. So what they're going to do is they're going to look at the books and they're going to be like, oh, damn, yeah, we can't spend however many millions of dollars a year on salaries if we're only making a couple $100,000 a year.
Or our tax outlook doesn't look as like we're going to have as much of a burden as the last couple of years. We don't have to pay as many people, so we can get rid of some.
That is also true. Yes, some of you were hired as tax shelters.
Yes.
I hate to break it to you, but yeah, you either give the money to the government or you spend it on your business, and sometimes businesses to avoid paying taxes will open up, a tax shelter of some kind, or they'll hire more people than they actually need. But then when the business declines in revenue, they got to lay people off, right? So yeah, this is Goldman Sachs. The CEO of Goldman Sachs forewarned them that major layoffs would soon start, according to the New York Post.
Yeah, they said that Google and Amazon plan to let go of thousands of workers, and it's based on the GRAD system, which is Google Reviews and Development System.
Google expects to fire around 6% of its full-time employees, and that's Google.
And that's still about 10,000 people.
That's still about 10,000 people. Under the new method, managers have been required to categorize 6% of employees, around 10,000 people, as low achievers in terms of their influence for the business. And here's the thing, too. Again, back to Twitter and Elon Musk. He's actually emboldened Silicon Valley to cut loose a bunch more people than they probably would have, because they're probably looking at him like, hey, he fired half of Twitter.
Twitter's still fine.
And Twitter's still running. Might not be running as well as some people think it should, but it's still there. It didn't just blow up. So we can do the same thing, And I guarantee you that your websites, your stupid hot take, anti-fan websites are low priority, and they probably were a tax shelter. They're probably a write-off.
Or your opinions masquerading as news.
Your opinions masquerading as news. It's going to end. So CNN. Yeah, there's actually talk that they might sell CNN.
Oh, really?
Or might sell it completely because it's not making
money.
money.
Well, Disney, they're talking might sell ABC. Might divest themselves of ABC. So who knows?
They can have ABCNN.
There you go.
Yeah, they can do that. Just keep adding letters as they sell more and more news outlets. They can just keep adding letters to the end of that. We're going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.